Well, we're here at the CCA workbench. It's time for the Fish Bites Trading Post rigs and techniques, Dave. So you want me to just get right into it, or you got a couple
I reckon,
questions?
we were talking beforehand. There are pretty much two types of snook fishermen. We got the guys who are out there trying to catch that slot fish, or just trying to catch a bunch of snook, catch his first snook or whatever. And then there's the guy who really wants to catch a great big one. So we're going to go through the little different things that you have to do one or the other.
So I think it's really important to understand that, when the guy goes on the flats, Dave, he's going to have a nice light tackle rod because that's why he likes being there, whether he's in a kayak, whether he's in a technical pole and skiff, whether you're fishing with Jeff Page and he's throwing the small pilchards. You can't throw a small pilchard with a heavy, heavy rod.
Right.
So we've loaded up this slammer with some 15-pound X9 Berkeley line, which is designed specifically for casting. It's perfect for a 1/4 ounce or 3/8 ounce jig head. You can change up the variety of soft different plastics, whatever your choice is. You can throw, whether it's a Fish Bites, a Bass Assassin, or any other brand. The cool part is there's lots of snooks caught on 5-inch jerk baits for sure.
Right.
All right, moving on. If you want to throw top water plugs, then there's a variety of walk the dog baits, but then Savage has come out with this new popper, which is called the Panic Popper. It looks a lot like a mullet on the surface. You just simply pop it. Now remember this, guys, you're not going to pop and wait and pop.
Not like bass fishing.
No, it's no pause in between it. But
they want to keep that popper moving. That's why they use a pencil popper instead of a lot of the other ones.
That's correct. They also have a variety of jerk baits, hard jerk baits, like the Juke 100. You want to match your colors to the area where if you got a lot of mullets or pilchards on the flats, you can certainly throw the Juke 100. If you want to fish a little deeper, remember this, there's some baits that they make, Berkeley makes, like the Hitch Stitch 120. Has a bill on it so that it'll go down 6 to 8 feet. Oh, it's 6 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Houston, one of his favorites.
Yeah, I like the War Pig.
Is the War Pig because of the rattles and all the noise that it makes. But there's a whole other level of guys. Yes, this is a 3/4 ounce and it will crank down deep. Now, Dave, you and I know there's a lot of dudes that believe in fishing for a fish over 40 inches.
Right.
That's kind of the personal best.
Or even if you're just pulling a 30 or 32 inch out of a lot of heavy current and stuff, like a lot of the inlet guys do, when they're still trying to catch a big one, but they're trying to catch the upper edge of the slot. Yeah. So they want to use some big gear.
Yeah, and this is the rig that I used when I filmed the show with Billy Ahlstrom over there in Boca Grande. 200-pound hollow core. This is like this hollow core here.
Right, a Berkeley Prospect.
Yeah, and then 150-pound or 180-pound leader.
Right.
These fish are fish that are around structure. They're around dock pylons.
Bridges.
You're going to load it up with a big, heavy slammer, at 85 or even a 10,500. If you're going to be fishing those big, giant live baits, put a 9/0 circle hook, hook that mullet in the nose.
Right.
That's going to work very, very well.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that do it around Sebastian Inlet, where I grew up snook fishing, where I caught my very first one actually, is they'll jump down off the gangplank, off the walkway, and get down right on the piling and just drop it straight down into the current, with a big heavy weight, because when those fish are in that outgoing tide, usually is what they're wanting to fish right at the end of the outgoing. And the current in Sebastian Inlet and some of those inlets really pushes fast.
Right.
So they use a big 6, 8 ounce, 10 ounce weight.
Right.
110-pound leader, really heavy. They were using mono back then when I was first starting, 100-pound monofilament.
Wow.
And on a big Penn Senator, and just dropping it straight down and just, trying to jerk them out of that current. Yeah. So you got to have that big gear if you're doing that kind of fishing.
Everything's got to be supersized. If you're going to throw plugs like this Twitch Reaper, look at the size of these hooks. This would be the perfect size to catch a big 40-incher.
Right.
A Bass Assassin could put a big jig head in front of that. There's just a million different combinations. The thing that you need to understand is if you're going to hook your live bait, you can either go through the nose if it's a thread fin, like so, through his nostrils, and that's the way it would look. Or if it's a mullet, you're going to come up through the bottom of his jaw so that he can still swim. Let me show you this. And this Eagle Claw 9.0 is perfect for that, and then that way you have the beef.
Right. And you can get a whole, once they swallows that and it comes back out to the corner.
Yep.
Really doesn't matter what kind of leader you got.
You did a great job.
Yes. Hey, he did. It was like a 70-30. Let's go with that. It was good.
70-30.
You participated.